What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? It's your boy Pip, and we are back for another prediction video. And this time we are predicting the first ever two-night Summerslam. We're going to go over all 12 matches on the card, talk about who we think should win, why we think they should win, who we think will win, I should be saying, why we think that they'll win. And we're going to go night by night, okay? We're going to try and keep it a little bit organized. So let's start with making this a little bit smaller so it's not as bright on my monitor. Because good Lord, is it bright. All right, let's start with night one. Here we go. Here's what we have listed for night one so far. We've got the Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill, taking on the current women's champion, Tiffany Stratton, for the women's championship. I'm going to pick Jade. I think that they've been clearly leading up to Jade winning. I thought that the only way that Jade didn't walk away with the Women's World Championship or the WWE Women's Championship after SummerSlam was with Naomi cashing in on her. But with Naomi cashing in at Evolution and surprising the world with that cash in, I don't see a world where Jade doesn't win here. If I'm being honest, I anticipate that it'll be Jade versus Naomi at Crown Jewel later this year. To give us round 3 of them. So I'm going to take Jade Cargill to be your new WWE Women's Champion. And we will move on to our celebrity match of SummerSlam with Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul taking on the team of Randy Orton and Jelly Roll in a tag team match. Celebrities almost always get their win. It's almost an inevitability when it comes to pro wrestling. I don't see a world where Randy Orton takes a pin here, and I don't see a world where Jelly Roll takes a pin here. I don't even know if he'll really take too many bumps. So I'm gonna take Randy Orton and Jelly Roll to win, with Logan Paul probably taking the pin. Now let's move on to another tag team match, but this one for a title. We've got the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on the line when Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez of the Judgment Day defend those titles against the team of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Now, I don't want the titles to change hands. I actually really like everything we've been doing with Charlotte and Alexa, but I also really like everything we've been doing with the Judgment Day. And I think that realistically, the best thing we could do is keep the titles on Judgment Day further and continue this story of Judgment Day being dominant. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I say that we are going to get new champions here. So I'm going to go ahead and take Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss to become your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And we'll move on. We got another tag team match for night one of SummerSlam with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman taking on the team of Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Bronson Reed probably takes the pin here. Jey and Roman win. I don't think there's much to say here. I don't think this was the match we were supposed to get. I think we were supposed to get Roman Seth. And with Seth's injury, because we'll talk about that later, I'm taking Roman Reigns and Jey Uso to win this impromptu replacement match. And it just doesn't make sense for either of them to take the pin. If one of them were to, Breaker would get the pin. It'd be huge if he got the pin on Roman, but I just don't see it happening. Probably a double spear, Uso splash combination kind of thing to Bronson Reed for the win. Next up on night one, we have Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross, where the stipulation is that if Kross wins, Sami Zayn has to say the words, "Kross was right." But if Sami Zayn wins, Kross must say, "I was wrong." We all know Sami Zayn's going to win. I don't want him to. I actually really want Karrion Kross to win. I think it would be a much better story of Karrion Kross winning and watching Sami go down this rabbit hole of having to admit that Kross was right and exploring that as an option. But with Kross not signing a new contract yet and all these other things going on, I just don't see that world. And plus, Sami Zayn getting a big win at SummerSlam feels pretty obvious. I hold out hope for Karrion Kross, but I'm going to pick Sami Zayn to win. And then finally, in our main event of night 1 at SummerSlam, we have the World Heavyweight Championship match between current champion Gunther and the challenger CM Punk. This one's tough. I'm going to take Punk. And the reason I'm going to take Punk is because I think that CM Punk is going to win, and then we're going to find out Seth Rollins' injury was not as bad as it was led to believe, and Seth Rollins will cash in to make sure that CM Punk cannot be world champion in WWE. I think that would be the best story they could tell. Hell, even if he is hurt and they had a injured version of Seth come out and win the title with the help of Breakker and Reed, and then either, you know, it's like it was before WrestleMania 40 where he kind of holds on to it briefly, or holds on to it while not really being able to be active, but staying active on TV and storylines. Or he just vacates it the next day, but says, I had to do what I had to do to save the world of pro wrestling from CM Punk. It'd be hysterical either way. So I'm going to take CM Punk to win and Seth Rollins to cash in. It's a pipe dream, but we're talking about the man of the pipe bomb, so why not a pipe dream? Now let's move on to night 2. Night 2, we got some interesting stuff going on. We've got 6 title matches. 6 matches, all for titles on night 2. So let's start with the triple threat match for the Women's World Championship, where current champion Naomi defends against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I think this match is going to be a barn burner, but I am taking Naomi to retain. I know a lot of people don't want that, but I think we continue the trend of Rhea not being able to beat Io. Naomi needs to hold the title for longer than just 3 weeks. It would be a disservice to her cash in if she lost it in her first major title defense. So I'm going to take Naomi to retain here. I don't have much more to say about that. Let's move on to the United States Championship, where Solo Sikoa defends that title in a steel cage against Jacob Fatu. I would assume Jacob will win here. Big moment to give Jacob the title back. Another crowning moment at a Big 4 pay-per-view for him, or PLE for him. But if Tama Tonga returns, we could see the final member of the MFT rejoining the group and stopping Jacob Fatu from winning the title and allow him to move on to bigger and better storylines, in my opinion, which I would actually prefer. I think it would be a disservice to have Solo lose the title already, but that might be what happens. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to take Jacob Fatu to win here. I just think it makes the most sense logistically. Now, while we're talking about mid-card titles, let's talk about the WWE Intercontinental Championship as Dominic Mysterio defends that title against AJ Styles. Oh, this one's tough. I'm going to pick Dom. I don't think I'm ready for Dom to lose the title, and I don't want them to take it off of him yet. However, I could see a world where they do, because it is, from my understanding, Dominic Mysterio is going to be challenging for the AAA Mega Championship soon, at the next Triple Mania. And if he does, I could see a world where he wins that title just to piss off all of Mexico. So if he loses here, I think he wins the AAA Mega title, but I think it would be better for him to go into that match as the Intercontinental Champion. So I'm going to take Dominic Mysterio to retain. Now, while we're talking about Intercontinental Champions, let's talk about the Women's Intercontinental Championship match, as we have a no disqualification, no countout, last chance match where Becky Lynch defends her title against Lyra Valkyria, and if Becky Lynch wins, Lyra cannot challenge for the title as long as Becky is still champion. I'm going to take Lyra. I think Lyra gets the win here. This is one of the matches that could go either way. But I genuinely think that it's tough. I genuinely think that Lyra should win here. She has been elevated to new levels. And so I'm going to take Lyra Valkyria to win this match and become your new Women's Intercontinental Champion. Now we have the WWE Tag Team Championships finally being on a PLE. And in this one, it is going to be a 6-pack tables, ladders, and chairs match for the tag titles, where current champions Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy of the Wyatt Six will be defending those titles against the team of Andrade and Rey Fenix, DIY, which is Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, Fraxium, which is Axiom and Nathan Frazier, the Motor City Machine Guns in Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, and the Street Profits in Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. I need you to understand this match could genuinely go anyway. I mean, this could just be a die roll, 6 teams, roll a d6, and there's your winner. Matter of fact, hang on.
A few moments later.
Let's do just that. Let's roll a d6. And we will do in order of the teams we said. So a 1 is the Wyatt Six, 2 for Andrade and Fenix, 3 for DIY, 4 for Fraxium, 5 for the Motor City Machine Guns, and 6 for the Street Profits. We will roll it right here. And it stops right there. So 5, the Motor City Machine Guns. All right. So we're taking the Machine Guns to win. Get a reroll. 5 again. Look, I'm trying to make sure you can see it travel the whole way so that you know I'm not turning it. That's a 5 again. So Machine Guns are winning. Don't know what to tell you. And then finally, in our main event of night 2, we have the WWE Undisputed Championship being defended in a street fight as John Cena defends the title against Cody Rhodes. If you'd asked me a month ago, I would have said Cody. Now I almost think it's going to be Cena. I think we might get a double turn here. I think there's a lot of ways this could go. I am going to take Cena purely because of Cody being cast for Street Fighter. That's it. That's the only reason. And I think he's going to take some time off after SummerSlam to film Street Fighter. So I'm going to take John Cena to retain here. It could go either way. Here's the thing. There are 12 matches on this card, and I genuinely think only 3 of them are surefire guarantees. Jade Cargill beating Tiffany Stratton, Randy Orton and Jelly Roll beating Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, and Roman Reigns and Jey Uso beating Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Everything else I could see going either way. So this SummerSlam is going to be really fun. You guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you guys think is going to be the best match of the card. Let me know what you guys think is going to be the worst match of the card. And tell me what you guys are most excited for. And with all that being said, as always, I am Pip. Y'all are the greatest. And when in doubt, we'll see you next time. See ya!